Hi, this is Evan Jones at lawschooly.com. Today we're looking at Preptest 63, Game 1. This is the second prep test out of that Volume 5, 10 actual official LSAT prep test compilation. So these are the most recent 10 exams available. And if you're kind of running out of time before June and you have say 20, 30 prep tests, make sure you at least do these recent 10 because they're going to be the most similar to what you'll see on test day. So don't neglect to do these. They're the best practice for actually getting you geared up for the test. So with that in mind, let's look at game 1. This is an incredibly easy game. I don't know if I've ever even seen a game this easy, and I think I actually lost some time kind of wondering, is this all there is to it? And so that's a good lesson for you. I solved it in about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I think I could have done even faster if I was kind of ready mentally for the possibility that there would be such an easy game. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's look at the setup. So for the setup, it's very basic. You have an appellate court and a trial court. And in there you have 3 spots on the appellate court and 6 spots on this side that are possible. And that ends up being kind of a red herring because you're not using all these spots and it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that this is very limited. Only 3 people can go on this appellate side. So we've got 7 candidates for these judge positions, right? We've got H, J, K, L, M, O, P. And then we only have 3 rules. So not all of these are going to be filled at this time. We've already talked about that. And then we only have 3 rules. Lee's going to be on the appellate court, so L there. Kurtz is going to be on trial. And then H and P cannot be together. So you could also write that out since this is just a 2-option game. This is a very common theme, is HP, HP. So you know those spots are always going to be filled by H and P, those 2 spots. With that, you're ready to go to the questions. For question 1, that's just the acceptability question. Super easy. Take 1 rule at a time and eliminate the answer choices. And in this case, you're left with E as the correct answer. So we're not going to go over that. It's the same as any other acceptability question. So just attack it and move on. So question 2, this is where the fun begins. You kind of have to get this theme, which is that the only thing that's really going on in this game is that there's only 1 position remaining here after H and P are taken. So most of the questions are going to relate to, and we've only got 5 questions here, and most of them are going to relate to how this appellate side is restricted, and that forces things over onto the T side. So let's look at this question. It's just asking us what cannot be true. So H and M are both appointed to the appellate court. No problem there. You just put M there. That's fine. M and O are both appointed to the appellate court. And then you see quickly there's no space for that because of the HP slot. So that cannot be true, and it's the correct answer, B for 2. So just dealing with this restriction on the A side is really all you've got since there's so few rules. That's all we'll really be working with. The only way to really violate a rule in this game, since there's so few rules, is to do something that forces H and P together. And that's what putting M and O over here would do. Then there'd be no room for H and P, and you'd have to put them over here and violate that rule, which is no good. Okay, so that's question 2. On to 3. 3 is a similar question, what cannot be true? To illustrate how easy this game is, it's just the same exact thing. We get to A, and it asks us J and M are both appointed to the appellate court. We know this can't be true because, again, it forces one of H and P over to this side, and then you're violating this rule. So same exact thing. A is the correct answer, circle it and move on. For question 4, if Ortiz is appointed to the appellate court, we're asked what must be true. So we put O over here. And now all the remaining variables have to go in on this side, because we do have to appoint these guys. So you could just take stock of what's left here, going in on this side, J, M, and J, M, and KL, they're already accounted for. So yeah, you have to just put J and M in here. And then that's it, you're done. So what must be true? Scan down. H is over here. No, that has to be false. So A is gone. For B, J is on the A side. No, it has to be over here. When you get to C, and C, Jefferson is appointed at the trial court, yeah, that has to be true. So easy solve again, and you're done. All right, question 5 is the only one that kind of requires a little bit of mental work. So what it asks us is we have to get rid of this H and P rule. So you remove this, and then you're looking for something that would have the same effect, another rule. So the only thing left to do is sort of go through the options one at a time and see if it would result in that HP setup that we have from this rule. So let's look at A. Putting Hamdy and P both over here. No, that's clearly different. So that's out. Cross off A. B. If Hamdy's not appointed to the trial court, then Perkins must be. So if you have H over here, then P has to be here. If you don't have H over here, sorry, then P has to be. Well, that would lead to HP, so that's kind of good, right? It looks like, but the problem is they could both be over here according to this rule. So that's not the same effect as this. You have to cross off B now. Okay, so for C, let's look at C. If P is appointed the same court as Jefferson, Hamdy cannot be. So J and then H, then you'd put P over here. Does that create the same rule? No, because you could just split up J, have it over here, J, and then H and P. And that doesn't violate this new rule. So that can, anytime you can have H and P together, it's eliminating an answer choice here. So that's gone. Okay, and D, little time consuming, but you just got to do it this way, or do it mentally. I mean, I think I did this work mentally, kind of looking for a likely answer, and that's how I got to the one that ends up being right. So anyways, for D, if H is in the same court as Lee, so H here, then P must be with K. So that's good for that reason, but there's no reason in this scenario why we can't just move both of them over to here. Again, and they're together, and that gets rid of D. So easier answer choice by elimination, or another way to get to it, which is what I did, which was kind of scan down and just do mental work with these questions. And he asks us, what would be the effect if no three of Hamdy, Kurtz, Lee, and Perkins can be appointed to the same court as each other? So this wouldn't work right here, this KHP, right? So you'd have to move at least one of these two over here, and yeah, they're split up. Or if you tried it on the other side, HP, you've got three of them together, that's no good, you have to move one over and then split it up, and then they're split up. So it's the same effect as this rule. Okay, so that finishes off a very easy game. I suspect most people won't be watching this video because this one's just not hard enough, but having a proper setup where you get your HP rule in there properly to help you visualize that these two spots are taken is really important to solving this very quickly, because then visually you just have that powerful reminder that you've only got one spot left in A. Okay, see you on game 2.